Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to today's Smackdown review and opinions video. And honestly, this felt like a Smackdown after WrestleMania. I don't know if we quite got to the same heights as Raw, but this was still very, very good. Very, very good. Obviously, we started with Cena and Randy, and there was some very interesting conversation there. I've sort of said it till I'm blue in the face about the whole Cena ruining wrestling. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't land for me. He's going to leave with that belt, and we're going to create a new belt. And that's fine, because we've created new belts before. We always come up with new, fresh designs every, 10 years or whatever, right? So coming up with new belts is nothing new. Obviously, there's been people that have had to vacate titles before because of injury or controversy. So if Cena's not going to defend, well, then he will vacate the belts. And we will create a new belt and we will crown a new champion. Like, these things don't ruin wrestling like what John Cena is saying. And so I think I'm at the point now where I've made that point very clear, and it's not working for me, but I've either got to keep saying it or just kind of ignore it and just move on. And I'm going to ignore it now. I'm done. I've said my piece. I'm going to ignore it and I'm just going to move on. Clearly, Cena is going to try and leave with this title. Clearly, someone is going to try and stop him. But I thought something that was really interesting that was kind of brought up during the chat. What if Cena gets all the way to his final match and wins and does leave with that title, or is just about to leave with that title, and then the Money in the Bank holder stops him? What if really we get down to those final few seconds of Cena just being about to walk out the door and the Money in the Bank person cashes in and stops Cena leaving and ruining wrestling? The only thing I don't know is that would be Cena's final appearance. But of course, it won't be his final appearance. Cena said he'll be back. It's just he won't be a wrestler. So, do we have Cena walking out as a heel? It's hard to see that happening. So do we do all of that and then do one last match? I just don't know. I don't really know how it's going to play. But, I definitely think Cody being the one to get the title back, or maybe a Money in the Bank cash in. I think they're going to leave it real late. It's very, very clear the story this year is, will Cena ruin wrestling? That seems to be, this is why I don't think Randy wins at Backlash. So he could win the match, but not the title. So anyway, we had all of that. It was a very interesting segment. Then we had Fraxiom, which is awesome. I'm so pleased to see Fraxiom getting called up. So Fraxiom against Los Garza. You lot said that was great 61. There were chants of this is awesome. So the crowd really enjoyed it. Tiffany Jade was okay. It had some moments. They were starting to cook in a few places. That got good 94. Outside interference, Naomi and Nia. No sign of Charlotte on this show. Then we had Chelsea and Zelina, new champion. I'll be interested to see what people think about that, right? So I'll be interested to see what people say about the new champion. There seemed to be a bit of a mixed reaction in our community. I think there was like 30% weren't bothered, 50% loved it, and about 16% hated it. It was something along those lines. So it was sort of like 50-50 between those that loved it and those that weren't bothered or hated it. So that was kind of how it played out. Drew against LA Knight. This was the low point of the whole show for me. I really didn't enjoy this. And then we had loads of outside interference as well. So I don't know where we're going with that. And then, of course, the TLC match. You lot scored the TLC match all time 51%. I think it's a really enjoyable match. I didn't find myself falling in love with it as strong as everyone else. I feel like I looked in the community, I looked online, everyone's like, this is 5 stars. It wasn't 5 stars for me. I would be like 4.25, maybe 4.5. I really enjoyed it. I would be high, great. Maybe low all time, but I think I'd be great. I think I'd be great. So, yeah, you lot said 51% of you said it was all-time. 36% said it was great. So I think I'd be in with that 36. 9% said it was good and 2% said it was bad. So really, people are trying to decide if it's all-time or great. But either way, it was very, very good, right? It was really WrestleMania-worthy. And I know there's already people asking why it wasn't on that card, and I think we might have an answer on that, actually. So we'll get to that. But, yeah, loads of stuff, loads of talking points. That's what we look for. That's what we got. And this show absolutely delivering. So score-wise, I might go 7-7-5. I don't know that we quite get into the 8 club. I might go 7-7-5, but I'm really high because Fraxiom, new champ, but I do like Chelsea. So I didn't really want a new champ, but it's still a talking point. Amazing TLC match. Fraxiom match was really good as well. I think it's just Drew. LA Knight drags it down. Jade, Tiffany could have been better. Aleister Black coming back, that was really cool. That was cool, and I love that he's got his old music. Why change it? It banged, so why change it? TLC was excellent, so yeah, I'm going to go 7-7-5. But if people tell me this is an 8, I won't argue. But those would be the reasons why it would get like marked down a little. So let's go into the community, shall we? So Brendan, shout out to you. Kid said Raw was better than SmackDown. I agree. But I was happy to see Aleister Black. I hope WWE can use him properly this time. SmackDown, I'm going to go 6 out of 10. No Wyatts. Yeah, no Wyatts. I said I would give them this week. If we didn't get them this week, that's okay. And the reason why I said that was because I knew this show would deal with a lot of fallout from WrestleMania. In 3 hours, could we have found a glitch? Yes. Like, I can't really give you an explanation as to why we didn't do anything. The only thing we had was them on the side of a trailer backstage, which is okay, but it doesn't tease anything. It doesn't really mean anything. I think we were all looking for a glitch or maybe a QR code or something, but we didn't get any of that. So, yeah, I don't know. I would have done a glitch. I would have done something here, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's see what they've got for us next week. Homer said, shouldn't the TLC match have been at Mania? Yeah, a lot of people saying that it should have been at Mania. I think there is a reason, though, why it wasn't. And it's not a reason that I really knew watching live. It's one that I just saw, and I did put it in unseen. And I think it's because that match is so good because it gets about half an hour. I mean, really, it's got about half an hour for them to cook. And I think had it have been at WrestleMania, it would not have had that time. They would not have given it half an hour. You would have had to have still done that match, but in like, you know, 2/3 of the time, if not even less. Normally on the undercard, you get like 10-15 minutes. That just had half an hour. So I wonder if that's the reason why they did not have the time to give that match the time they wanted to give that match, which is why SmackDown felt like the better place for it. I mean, to be honest with you, the matches at WrestleMania should have done better. If WrestleMania had been better, then I don't think there would be this conversation of, oh, that should have been at Mania, because WrestleMania would have been good enough. But with WrestleMania underwhelming, I think that that's why, you know, this match ended up being on SmackDown. And honestly, in retrospect, maybe they would have moved some stuff around. You could have shaved some time off that match. You could have got it down to about 20 minutes, maybe. But you would have cut out a lot of stuff from the match if you'd have done that. So, I don't know. Should we just go, oh, I'm really pleased with that and that's it? Or should we look at it and be like, why was you not at WrestleMania? I think it's probably healthier to go, that was awesome. I'm really pleased we got a match of that quality and SmackDown was better for it. I think that's probably a better way of looking at it. But Michael made the good point on the chat in the watch-along. He was like, I paid a lot of money, so why didn't I get that at WrestleMania? And it's like, If you paid a lot of money, I can understand you being disappointed, but I think it might have come down to time. Brady said, it's always great seeing the GOAT John Cena because soon we won't be able to. But where were the Wyatts? Hopefully next week. Shouldn't be the catchphrase of Wyatt 6 fans, but sadly it is. Not even a QR code or a vignette. Maybe next week. Chanel said main event would have legit been the second best match at Mania. And it should have been on that show. So proud and happy for Zelina. And for the please, love of God, don't give Jade a microphone again. Lastly, Aleister Black is back with his original WWE NXT theme. He is, and it was awesome. Craig said 9 out of 10. It was a great show. Nice to see Black again and original music and entrance. Good starts to stories for Backlash. I was actually not expecting Alexa or Wyatts at all because of Black's return and the TLC match. That match was an all-time TLC, says Craig. Jasmine said Smackdown wasn't bad. I'm going to give it a 6. Parker Tiffy Time said, I don't know why we are getting back into the Tiffy Nia thing. I agree. Not what I wanted. It doesn't make sense to me as a Tiffany fan. And I know it could be a callback to when Tiffany cashed in. But I love that Aleister Black is back. Shout out to you. I would like to know your thoughts. Yeah, not the next feud I would have gone to. Not the next feud I would have gone to. I would have found something different, something better. I feel like we've done the Nia feud. To be honest, I wonder if they just want to find a way of getting Nia back into a story. But why have her go after Tiffany when we've already done that? Why are we going back to that? Where was Candice? Wasn't Candice with Nia before? She was nowhere to be seen as well. So, yeah, I agree with you. I wanted something better for Tiffany. Millie said it was such a treat. Not only once, but twice did we get to see that Wyatt's trailer. We ate good, didn't we? We ate good. Maybe next week we might even get to see the wheels. Oh, imagine. Very good. Sam Has CTE said it was great. Cena's reign is already more entertaining than Comid's. SmackDown has aura again. Cena has made SmackDown great again, said Sam Has CTE. J Omega says the Cena Orton promo was an 8. Los Garza Fraxiom was a 7. Jade against Tiffany a 5. Jacob Solo LA Knight Drew a 7. Zelina Chelsea a 7. Miz Aleister a 6. Drew LA, I was making food, I didn't see it. TLC match a 10. So overall, an 8.75. Welcome home, Aleister Black. Bean said pretty good. Just waiting for Wyatts and Alexa. Howdy Dread said another day with no Wyatt 6. Book the Wyatt 6. Las Vegas Matt said, I think the main event was match of the year. I know why they left it off because it would have buried the main event. Jade Cargill needs to go to NXT and train. She isn't ready for the main roster. She looked bad. No Wyatts. No Alexa is disappointing. 8 out of 10. Jang Tae Sang said stacked. John and Randy were spitting fire. Aleister returns. Zelina is finally champ. TLC was mind-blowing. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, buds. Verrick said, it was really good. I enjoyed it. I just got confused if they're doing 2 fatal 4-ways for Backlash, like the US title and the women's title. Well, I think the US title has got a lot of people in it, and we could definitely do a multi-person match there. I don't think we're doing one for the women's. I think that will be Nia, Tiffany, and I think Jade Naomi will do a rematch. So I think that will actually be 2 separate matches. But the US title, that could have Drew, LA Knight, Jacob, maybe Solo in there as well. And then that would be a way of having Jacob Solo going at it. I wonder if they would do that and tease, and then maybe they don't actually come to blows. I don't know. Yeah, I think we could end up doing something like that. Dylan said it was an amazing SmackDown after Mania. The Cena Orton promo was fire. Every match I enjoyed. Jacob Fatu just proves that he is the future of WWE. But I thought the LA Drew match was a bit stale. I agree. Main event was wild. It was a really good week for Raw and SmackDown. 8-7-5. Matthew said SmackDown was great and glad to see Zelina win the Women's United States Championship. Aleister Black returned, including his entrance music. Tag match is a classic, so 9 out of 10. King David said it was a lot of fun, especially the Cena Orton promo. I'm still patiently waiting for Alexa and the Wyatts. Muggsy said 8-7-5, one of the best tag team TLC matches I have ever seen. Probably SmackDown's match of the year. This was better than Raw. Only bad thing I have to say is Aleister Black's first opponent is The Miz. It better not be his first rivalry, but at least he didn't get Death Rebels. FYI said, I thought it was a great SmackDown. I love the Orton-Cena story building. I really hope we get Black Cross storyline at some point. That would be fire. Hoping for the 6 next week. This felt like a much-needed reset for Raw and SmackDown and an awesome main event. So 8.5. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, what's up, Daze from Philly? Shout out to you, buds. Orton Cena cooked. I loved it. Hats off to Fraxiom. Loved it. Zelina deserves it. But how long will it last? Gotta think Chelsea gets it back. She was so good with that belt. I do understand people being disappointed that Chelsea doesn't have it anymore. We can still keep going with the harvest and everything, though. We don't have to end that. Poor Miz, welcome home, Aleister. Priest Drew double turn, US Fatal 4-Way. TLC was a damn forest fire, so 8.5. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum, shout out to you. Tiger Raptor said, no Wyatts. Part of me didn't expect them. Actually, part of me is getting bored waiting for them, but hopefully next week. TLC was insane. We don't need Nia Tiffy again. Black coming back is a plus. I'm going to give it a 7, said Tiger Raptor. Raymond said, Daze, I thought SmackDown tonight was well worth watching. It was a really solid show. I enjoyed every match. It was better than Raw last week. So I'm going to rate SmackDown 10 out of 10. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Raymond. Chris said, Daze, not bad. 7-2-5. It was great to see Aleister Black back with his NXT entrance. For the first time, I thought we could get the Wyatt 6. And not because we saw them on a truck backstage. Going to give it one more week, and then hopefully we see some. Same here, buds. If they're not on the show next week, I really don't know. The only thing I can think is that they don't have anything planned for them for Backlash. And so we need to get past May 10th. But that would suck, wouldn't it? That would suck. I mean, you could still bring them back and still start doing stuff, even if you're not going to use them at the PLE. You can still do stuff with them. Taker1990 said, for a SmackDown after Mania, this was fire. 10 out of 10. Tiffy did well against Jade. I hope we don't get Nia Tiffy again. I think we will. Shout out to you, Daze, for hell of a work you do, especially Mania weekends. Idea for you to create some Daze shirts. Thoughts? Taker1990, shout out to you, buds. Maybe. It's always one of those that, you know, is kind of in the background. I'm sure we'll get round to some merch one day. James said it was good. Excited for Randy Cena. Disappointed there wasn't at least a glitch for the Wyatt 6. I agree. I'm excited for Aleister Black. I feel like they didn't do anything with Wyatt 6, so it wouldn't have overshadowed his return. Main events deserve to be at Mania. I agree, honestly. I think you could have done that. I don't think it would have ruined anything if they had put him on this show. I think there should have been a tease. That would not have overshadowed Aleister. But again, I said I will give them this week because we knew there might be call-ups. We knew there might be returns. We knew there was going to be fallout out of WrestleMania. If you don't want to do the Wyatt 6 here because you don't, you know, maybe not them overshadowing it. Maybe you don't want them overshadowed. Think of it that way. Perhaps we don't want to do it here because they might be overshadowed. Rather than everyone talking about them, people might be talking about Aleister's back. How amazing is that TLC? John Cena and Randy. Perhaps it is better that it's next week. But at the moment, we don't know that it's next week. We still could have had a glitch. I do agree. Babs the Barbarian said it was great. Fraxiom call-up, Zelina winning the US title, and afterwards, Aleister arrives with original music and entrance. That TLC match was absolutely epic. One of the best matches of the year. Jacob, all gas, no breaks. No Wyatts, though. 8 out of 10. Thank you, Daze, you robots. Babs the Barbarian, shout out to you. And Mark said, how do we explain the New Day match was at Mania, but not the TLC? Please explain. Well, I think it is to do with that time. I think that's an excellent reason. New Day against Viking Raiders, War Raiders, it didn't need half an hour. But the TLC, I think you could have got away with it being shorter, but it really benefited from having time and allowing them to, you know, kind of sell the spots. So I think it's probably better to go, do you know what, that TLC match, it worked. It was on SmackDown, and it worked, and what a brilliant main event. And really, that New Day War Raiders match, it should have been better. And, you know, maybe moving the TLC and giving it less time might have made it worse. That's the only thing I can think, honestly. I'm concerned with Aleister Black. Didn't work first time. Didn't work in AEW. So why will it work now? Decent show. But why Tiffy Nia again? It's like Groundhog Day, says Mark. I think that's a good point, boy. Honestly, I think it's a good point. I hear you. I hear everyone's frustration. People, I don't think, really want to go back to that. And I think Aleister is so cool that people just so desperately want it to work. So that is their job now. You're right. It didn't work when he was on the main roster last time. It did okay in AEW. House of Black was pretty good, but didn't really get anywhere. So what can they do different now? That's up to them to show, isn't it? So let's have a look and see where we are with the scores. Good show, though. Good show. I didn't put this up long, so it's only had 40-odd votes, but look at that. Actually, at the moment, it's coming out ahead of NXT. But not ahead of Raw. Raw getting all-time on Monday. All-time show on Monday. That's where we are for WrestleMania. 800 votes. That's what Night 2 got. It's coming out as Great 56. No, Great 46. Night 1, Great 61. So Night 1, the better night. I do think the main events carry extra responsibility. Main event of Night 1, cooked. Main event of Night 2, did not. So I think, you know, that's probably why. But that's what we're looking at in regards to WrestleMania. Oof. Then we had an all-time. Then we had a great NXT, which was a little bit quiet. Crowd could have been a little bit more into it, but I think people were tired. Yeah, I understand that. And yeah, this looks like it's going to come out like really strong, great. Really strong, great. No one's saying bad, only 7% saying good. It's all going into great with a little bit all-time. So there we go. That is our SmackDown review and opinion. So hope you enjoyed it. Appreciate people joining us. Hope you had a great evening. And we'll be back with the boxing tomorrow. We may do some over the weekend, but if not, I will see you for the Raw watch-along and, of course, more opinions and reviews. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.